After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 546. Today is Monday, March 20th, 2023 as we are recording. Happy Solemnity of St. Joseph and happy first day of spring.
Okay.
We want to wish, I am Arlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
Charlie, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you're new, we're glad to have you with us. We hope you see something that you like and you will continue to join us. If you are returning, we're always glad to have you with us. And if you are in the shadows, either new or returning, doesn't matter which, if you are in the shadows and would like to become more involved or whatever, you can just tap the little subscribe button on your right, the little red button on the upper right, and as you look at it, and there's a little bell, and you can tap that little bell and it'll give you notifications, and you can even customize your notifications. So you just I think when you do press on it,
and it gives you options like no notifications.
it's got like a drop down menu, right? Yeah, so you can do that, and if you want to take part in all the alongs and more in-depth things that we do, that has to be done at our home group, which is phnpodcast.freeforums.net, and that's in the little description box below the video. And that takes care of that. How many things do you have?
4.
4. I have 4 as well. So I went first last time we were even.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, it feels right. Okay. So in my I'd rather be knitting cat mug is Irish breakfast. This is left over from my breakfast. So it's about half a mug here. And then I made the little gray cells. Oh, actually it's called
chocolate mocha chocolate mocha tea for the little gray cell, for the little gray cells. This is what it looks like.
And I have that in my Keep Calm and Use Your Little Gray Cells Mon Ami mug.
Yeah, and I have it in my Memento Mori mug. I should have put it in my Sherlock Holmes mug.
Yes.
But
I told you last minute what I was changing it to, because I honestly was going to do a bigger mug, but then the Poirot mug called to me and said it wanted Poirot tea in it.
And I love this tea. I wanted something else, but I'm so tired.
Before I forget, Mom, I'll have to try to send you the title. It was mentioned on the reading sprints. Someone wrote a book where all the detectives from the Golden Age are in a nursing home together because they're elderly, and they're talking about things like Poirot. I mean, and Sherlock Holmes is like the oldest one because
of course, yeah.
he's older and he's starting to get forgetful and stuff. It sounds hilarious, so I'll have to try to send you the title.
Must be before the final curtain.
Yes, or this person's decided that it did not happen.
Yeah, not yet.
Or maybe it won't according to their universe.
That's good too. That works for me. Okay.
So yes, it just occurred to me you might enjoy.
Oh, I'd love that. Yeah. Okay. Now in my Memento Mori mug is also the chocolate mocha tea for the little gray cells. I was gonna try what they're doing on Adagio today because I have it in my stash for their community tea, because I actually have it, but I've had it before. But I know you have to. It can be a little touchy. It can be a little touchy, and I just wanted something I knew I liked, so I had this. And it didn't have as much caffeine as this one.
Right, because it's a mott.
Yeah. So is that one. It's a yerba mott.
Well, it shouldn't be any different than
it's a moderate.
Oh, that's
and
odd.
This is high, so. But anyway, that takes care of that.
Let me write this down for you. It's called The Old Detective's Home.
The alongs that are going on right now, we have 3 of them, and two of them, no, just one of them is close to finishing. We have a week left on one of them, but let me go through these very briefly. We have the PHN Movie Night Make-Along 2023, and this is a new one for us. We were requested to do something like this, and we were very grateful to honor that request.
Yes.
It runs from January 1st through December 31st, which means January 1st of 2024. I don't even want to think about that. That is when it's done, okay, Eastern Standard Time. And projects must be knit, loom knit, crocheted, woven, or paper crafts such as journaling, origami, card making, drawing, that kind of stuff. Anything that's kind of paper crafty, okay? Because we're into that too. So we get into something, you guys get to expand your horizons.
Neither of us have done it in a while, I don't think, but
no, not in a while.
We intend to.
Yep. The hashtag is PHN Movie Night 2023 on Instagram, and anything that is Lady Fernicle Creations, Lollipop Girl Creations, or Franciscan Gypsy Designs. If you use that in a finished object, you get an extra chance at a prize, or 2 chances at a prize. And if you use a featured yarn and a featured pattern in a finished object, then you get 3 chances at a prize. But you are responsible for your multiple postings, and it has to reflect the theme. Okay. Yeah. There are prizes here. You don't get to see them. I'm not going to tell you a thing about them because I haven't decided yet.
So there.
So you guys are just going to have to be surprised. I'm a stinker, I know. Okay. The PHN Ready, Set, Go Make-Along. This one ends in about a week. What's today? Today's the 8th. No, today's the 20th. So a little more than a week. So 31 days in March. So about 11 days this is ending. And this is where we start all the things. Okay, this started January 1st and it goes to March 31st. No previous whips for this one. You can have whips that were started January 1st or later, but nothing before. Not December 31st, not even if it's 11:59 on December 31st. No. Okay, so
not accepted.
Not acceptable. It's hashtag PHN Ready, Set, Go 2023 on Instagram. Once again, featured yarns, featured patterns remain as I said previously, and it just has to reflect the theme. Okay. The projects are the same, also as I mentioned before, with the paper crafts and all that. Okay. This last one is a new edition, and it goes from March 1st through May 14th, which is Mother's Day, or the day after Mother's Day, I think it is. I might move it to Davina's birthday,
right?
So I can remember it easier. Which is the 15th. This is the PHN Celebrating Spring, Passover, and Easter make-along, and anything that falls in spring, okay? Like if I had decided to make something for the Solemnity of St. Joseph, that would have been acceptable.
Right.
Okay? If we make something for the first day of spring, that would have been acceptable. And we have anything that's kind of Eastery, Passover-y, springy kind of stuff. That's what this is for. Okay, we did say that pastel colors are
permissible.
Permissible. That's permissible. There's something else. I think special. I have to go back and look at the thing. We said yes, pastel colors are considered Easter colors.
Right.
So that so
they are permitted.
They are permitted. And if I didn't understand your question correctly, whoever it was, I know that person watches. So whoever asked that question, if I didn't understand it correctly, let me know and I'll readdress it after talking to Talia. Okay. Once again, all the same things, except that it's a hashtag C as in cat, S as in snake, P as in pigeon, E as in egg, 2023. So CSPE 2023 on Instagram, okay?
And it is in the thread where it'd be it'd probably be easier for you to catch all that, because I don't know about you, but people start spelling at me, I zone out.
Well, it's also harder to remember initials than it is to say, okay, what did I say this?
Well, if you do it
celebrating spring, Passover, and Easter, Mal. I mean, it's too much. It's just, and an acronym. There's, I guess you'd say CSP or CSPE, but
it doesn't work for everything.
Yeah. It's in the PHN home group, okay, and the same featured patterns, featured yarns, same types of projects, okay. Next not next week, the following week, I'll probably give you the full rundown because that is the first of the month.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay, that takes care of that.
Okay, so let me put this down here. Actually, I'm going to show the one that I'm about to get started on again. Okay, this is kind of I'm going to be tearing it out and restarting it. I decided that I was going to do this in bulky and wait for you, but I also was like, I have this worsted I'm not using, and I should use what I have, rather than, being like, ooh, I'm going to get more yarn for this, because this is kind of scrappy.
I thought you already bought the yarn.
No, that's the other blanket.
Okay.
This is the log cabin I want for my lap.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And I felt like stupid.
Oh,
like,
so you don't want me to make the colors anymore? I guess I make it worsted.
well, I didn't want to wait, not because I just didn't want to wait to make it. I thought I might want a bulky one anyway at some point, but I didn't want at this point to pick up more yarn for this project, especially since I'm probably going to need to pick up more down the line for the other one, and I have worsted in my stash.
Okay.
And I was like, I should probably be smart and use the worsted in my stash.
I don't have much worsted. Oh, I guess I do. I have a lot of DK is what I have.
Well, I have a lot of DK, and I started in DK, which is what I'm about to show, but I think I wanted a little heavier than that. I was using a US 6, which was, because what he has you do, he has you pick up stitches with a smaller one and knit with a bigger one, at least that's what I can tell. And this is, US 6 was going to be my bigger one. And I'm like, well, I think this might be a little too small. So I'm going to have the US 6 be my smaller one and then do the US 8 as my bigger one, because there needs to be a two-set.
And by he, she means 10 hours
Yes,
less.
this is a 10 hours or
George.
less pattern. I'm going to make it a size, so a little bit bigger than this one. I'll probably add like one more cabin around. Although these are all different colors. Like this is a different blue from this blue.
Yeah.
So I can use just whatever I feel like. So it could look really crazy if I
Log
want
cabins could be, they're like miter squares. It's,
well, the log cabin that I made before, you actually did go around with the same color. This is slightly different. I think. No, you know what? I didn't. It's been so long since I made one. Okay.
I made a log cabin, I made a half log cabin.
I made one log cabin, and eventually it died because it got caught in my wheelchair.
Well, my log cabin was the one that I had that yarn that I got from Big Lots or whatever, and it just broke. And I had to put the little heart over it.
Oh, I remember.
It's upstairs because it's too delicate to be down here and be used a lot. It's sitting on a rocking chair.
After a while, I used that one all the time because I was supposed to make it bigger, and then I lost focus and I stopped. And I ended up using it to sit in my lap when I was driving and I was cold, or like I said, in my wheelchair, but the wheelchair eventually destroyed it.
You might hear some random noises. I have a new printer, and for whatever reason, it occasionally just kind of sounds like it's going to print something. And there's nobody here but me and the girls, so...
Yeah. And Davina's not printing anything. Hers isn't connected. But yeah, so this is what I'm making. And I'm going to instead, because this, like I said, this square is rather small. And this is the DK weight.
Is that the gauge swatch?
I didn't do a gauge swatch, because for this one, all you have to do is add another log thing around, so it's a lot easier to not have to do it. This is the center.
Okay, is that the one where he only uses one strand? Because he never does that. So
yes, it's like the only one I've ever seen where he's done one strand.
George is the king of doing multiple strands, and we love George.
So yes, I'm going to pull this out, use the US 8 as my big one, and what I'm going to start with, I think this is actually a Heidi yarn. Where did you go? Oh, there it is. Well, actually, no, it isn't. I forget who does this. Hold on.
It looks like a Heidi yarn.
It's not. Hold on. It is Spunky.
Oh, Spunky.
Eclectic. And remember when I picked this up, I hoped to do a pair of socks out of it, but it turned out not to have nylon in it.
Right.
This is sushi colorway. That's right.
That's right, yeah.
I was going to do socks out of this.
Yeah, sushi
so,
socks.
That's fine. I will just use it in this blanket. And I don't care if there's a little bit of craziness going on, as long as it's not too crazy to make it so the heart's overwhelmed. But this square doesn't have a heart.
I forgot there was a motif in there.
Yeah, it's a very slight, and you can't even see it.
Yeah, you can see it on this side here a little bit.
There, yeah, you're right. You can see it very slightly. Each little square, I call them squares. I'm not even sure if they're squares. It looks like they're squares. Has a heart on it. very similar to the to his Lots of Love baby blanket. But yeah,
We like George's stuff.
we do, and I tend to like heart motifs.
I do too.
Um,
I like hearts and birds together.
yes, I do have a tendency like hearts and birds and bunnies.
Well, an owl's a bird, but I'm even talking about.
Usually, I don't see owl ones in the kind of patterns I like. Usually, it's like the little.
Usually, the owls aren't in with the hearts.
No, no.
They might be. They're more often with trees or flowers.
No, you're right. I never see them with flowers.
Yeah.
Usually, it's like. Actually, I've usually seen them by themselves.
I've seen them with trees. I actually had a blanket pattern. I still have it somewhere. I don't remember if it was some kind of crochet intarsia or if it was some kind of applique or what it was, but it was a or color work. It was an owl in a tree, a baby blanket.
Okay.
It was really pretty. It was cute. Too much focus
Yeah.
for me at that point. Okay, I guess it's my turn.
Yes, it is. Okay.
I wanted to see if I get a little more on here because the last time I worked on it was a podcast. So you will get to see this anyway. In my angel bag, my bag, angel bag, is my Film Noir shawl. Let me just show you this here. And this, honestly, this could have been done a week ago or 2 weeks ago. It's not that far from being done. But between my hand hurting and other projects taking precedence and blah,
Blah is a problem. Where did my skein go?
so you can see, I mean, this is the same shawl that I'm wearing. Let me see. But this one's a pretty good size. Let me see how it measures up to this one.
Well, it's gonna be hard just for you to tell this.
Well, it's not like when it's on the knitting needles.
You know what might be easiest is if I put on one and I put on the other, because then you can see. I won't be able to twist for them, but
Well, they get a good idea here. Let me see. If I get you to hold one edge here. Okay. And I should probably put the gray one in front.
yeah, probably.
Okay.
Okay, you need to make sure the centers are lined up with each
Right.
other because they're not right now.
This is a work in progress, guys. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, this is the top.
It's the
Where's
top
the top?
center though. Here it is.
Okay, here's the top. Okay, here's the top center of the green one.
Is it lined up with the top center of the gray?
I have to get it untangled first because it's tangling up in the
Oh, okay.
thread, yarn here. Okay, so this is the top. Let me see what the. Okay, this is the.
Yeah, this is top center.
Where?
Right. See, look, that's the top center.
Okay, yeah, all right, top
And
center.
then
okay.
you need the top center for this one. There you go.
Which is right here.
Yes, it's where all the
I can't make it out with
The holes meet.
because it's too bunched up for me to see properly. Okay.
You're
so-
pretty close, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, hold on,
Let's see.
Mom, you're almost there.
Am I? I
Um,
can't see.
You are. Hold on. If
Oh
we-
yeah, I'm about 4 inches, 5 inches.
If that, yeah.
So I'm really close. So maybe, operative word, maybe, I will have this finished next week.
It all depends on how much. If you want any bigger.
I do want it bigger. I want it bigger. It has to be bigger.
Than the other one.
Huh?
Than the other one.
Than this one? Maybe a little bit bigger than this one. I have a couple other color. I want to finish this color, and then I have another color plus like a
Yeah, it's gonna be a
tying
little
together.
bigger. Mhm.
So it's gonna be a little bit bigger than the if we were accurate. I'll lay it down after the podcast. Lay them down and see exactly if it might be easier to see flat.
Yeah.
But it's as far as we can tell, it's like it's 4 or 5 inches off. And with this stitch, that's not anything.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess it's my
So
turn.
perfect in time for spring.
Yeah. Well, it's always cold in this house
It
anyway.
is. It is cold in this house, especially when Dad puts the air conditioning on.
Mm-hmm. So in my Knit for Brains teapots bag, I only did a little bit of work on this.
Is that your cowl?
This is my Bombers hooded cowl. And this is, of course, Miss Babs in the Squash Blossom colorway. Always pretty, always awesome.
Rena said that makes her happy.
It is happy.
Every time I do this, I somehow get it so I can't put this in without tangling up the handle. So I'm just going to put it to the side right now.
Yeah, nothing was to show there because I didn't get a whole lot of work done on it.
Okay. Let's see what I have to show here.
I think I start this way.
I don't think I worked very much on this one because I have something else that I'm working on that has the same pattern, and my hand doesn't like it if I work too much of this, of both of them. So I only worked on this on the podcast. And you might see this disappear briefly while I focus on the other one because the other one has a time limit.
Right.
So this is my strawberry shortcake baby blanket project from the Cerbel scarf pattern. It's not by Anastasia Sattel. I must have copied it from Anastasia Sattel. This is by Sarah Sweethearts. And can't find it anymore. I actually saw all her patterns and they're not available. I found all the patterns. They're adorable patterns, but you can't get them.
Yeah, because I don't think Ravelry removes the ability to mark that you're making that pattern. They just can't sell it.
Yeah. So... And I forget why I don't normally go there. I think I was I know
you were looking her up.
I know. Yeah, I got a notification of a update for somebody, and I can never get my updates because they don't send it to me. They send it to the Ravelry library,
right?
And I don't have that anymore. So every once in a while, someone could be really nice and they'll send it to me. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, it's like, well, you know, you're not part of this, so.
Well, and it's not a conscious decision on the designer's part.
No.
It's
the way it's set up, unless you can contact them personally, which I have done on occasion. But anyway, this is, you can see I did a little bit on this. I just did it on the podcast. So this might just be kind of put to one side until I get the other one finished because it requires multiple stitches for one stitch. I can't be doing more than one project at a time with this.
Right.
At least at this particular time. I have done it before, but right now when I was doing the other ones, like doing 2 shawls at a time, there was no time constraint.
Right. Well, yeah, that's different.
Because I was doing mine, I was doing Taya's. I was doing mine, I was doing Laura's. Laura gives me boodles of time. And when I was doing Crystal's with mine, Crystal didn't know it was coming to her.
Right. And also, I mean, yeah, like you said, when you have no time limit, you can do like 5 of them at once if you want to.
Yeah. I just
keep your interest going by having different colors.
Yeah, it's my interest is fine, and it's just that my hands sometimes don't like it, and so rather than maybe not be able to finish the other project that is time sensitive on time, I would rather just put this one.
That makes sense.
Aside, and it's very understanding. It said that's okay since it's a time sensitive project, so.
And that's a baby blanket anyway for the pregnancy center, unless you know someone who desperately needs a baby blanket later.
Right.
So it's not like anyone's waiting for that.
No, nobody's waiting for this. It's super soft. And yes, I am doing a couple of stitches, so maybe I can show this to you tomorrow, next week, if I don't have the ability to do more than one project. So.
Yeah, because there's been a lot of focus.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of issues for me focusing and.
But I mean, like you're focused on one specific project.
Yeah.
Is more of what I was stating.
Yeah. I had to add. Looks like I'm gonna have to add another skein of yarn on this anyway, so you can tell this is how much I have on this particular little skein.
I just realized that this was actually a really good one to choose for the center square because this is also the border.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and I know I have another skein of this.
Oh, good. I was going to ask you if you had enough.
I picked up 2 with the idea of making socks. Not to mention, they say that, 200 something is enough. I mean, I'm probably going to go one more lot. We'll see. Because I went down. I didn't want to do 10 and a half and 9 like they called for because I'm using a 10 for a bulky.
Right.
And I like that texture, so I know the 10 and a half for this would be too light. And you know what? The Knit Picks cable does fit this.
Oh, that's cool. Is that the Knit Pro?
This is
Knitter's Pride?
Not Knitter's Pride. Hold on. It's
Zing.
Yeah, you're right. Knitter's Pride Zing.
Yeah.
And it does fit the Knit Picks cable because I didn't have any free Knitter's Pride Zing cables, but I had needle tips available in the size I wanted. So I was like, I bet. So yes. Let me go ahead and mark off this row and then show the next one. I don't think I did a whole lot of work on this one either. Or I did a little bit. Actually, No, I did some because I had to go back on a part of the pockets.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So this, in my really soft brown bag from Knitter's Magic, is
Our local yarn shop.
Davina's Quicksilver
Yep.
sweater. So I did have to tear back on the pocket I was working on because I had made a mistake. And of course it was a cabled area.
Of course.
But it's okay. I am quite familiar with tearing back on cables and fixing it. In far more complicated projects than this one. So, the only thing that's slightly complicated for this one is the pocket construction, which is cool.
It's a set-in pocket, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I actually have already got this part of the pocket. I mean, I'll have to sew this here. Wait, where's that to be sewn still? Oh, on the bottom. It'll have to be sewn still. Oh, wait. Let's see. Oh, I see. It will have to be attached along the edge here.
They're gonna knit it together?
I have no idea. Actually, you know what? I think it'll either be seamed. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten that far. Mm-hmm. But the bottom's already taken care of, and you just slide your hand in here for the slide-in pocket, which is nice. Those aren't nearly as bulky. Mm-hmm. And over here, I'm in the process of building that over here.
No second pocket syndrome?
Nope. So this is, once I'm, finished that, I'm not that far off from, doing the hem and then thinking about finishing the pockets and doing the sleeves. So
her birthday's in 2 months.
Well, that's my hope. I probably should hold back on some of the other ones. It's not like I'm timed on anything. Yeah. And it would be kind of nice. Now, granted, she won't wear it yet because it'll be warm. She's a May birthday.
In the house.
Yeah. If I wanted to, I can make it wait till Christmas. And have it more appropriate. But we'll see.
Okay, my next one is in my Kikiboo Owl's Christmas bag, which I don't care. I love my owl bag.
I should probably say what this is. The Hillcrest coat, I believe is what's called. Sorry.
My Kikiboo Owl's Christmas owl bag, which is Christmas all the time, right? Mm-hmm. So, and this is my baby hat, and I just did a round while I was waiting, so you can see my progress on this. Not a whole lot, but there you go. I mean, these things I used to pop out, 1 or 2 a day, but...
Well, you're also focused on a specific project right now because of time limits.
Yes, and my husband doesn't like me doing crafts on Friday night because we're doing date night, so I don't do it then. And sometimes by the time we hit watching our little thing together in the evening, I'm tired during the week.
Right.
So, but this one's not too difficult to do. I can just, pull it out and go round and round and round. I think this is Lion Brand Heartland or Heritage or whatever it's called. I think it's Cascade that's Heritage and Lion Brand is Heartland. I can't remember. This is a really soft acrylic. I don't mind working with this. It almost doesn't feel like an acrylic.
Yeah, it feels almost like a wool.
It's very nice, and
I'm making your platypus out of one of those Lion brands. Actually, I need to return to him at some point.
This one, I've gotten to the point where I'm kind of there are acrylics that if I have to use acrylic, I kind of go towards certain ones, and then kind of bypass all the others.
Right, like if I was to decide to do this out of acrylic, I would use that Lion brand.
Yeah. The what?
If I was to decide I was going to do it out of acrylic like he called for,
right.
I would do Lion brand. But why would I? I don't want to choose acrylic if I don't have to.
I generally do acrylic for things that are going to go to charity, so that they don't have to worry about throwing it in the wash. They don't have to worry about, does this have to be hand washed? Does it have to be gentle cycle? Does it have to be? Because they might not have the ability to do that.
Right. Where's my pen? Mark off this row.
So that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, so...
I have another hat in here. How about that? Okay.
This is my final one.
How's that? Oh, I guess we did do 3 each. Okay.
In my Maryland sheep and wool bag. This is a nice sturdy bag.
Yeah, it is. I have mine. That yours too.
So in this is
Is mine the same year as yours or mine the year before?
I think you might have the year before. I don't, unless you got another one.
No, I don't think I
But
got
you
two.
already had yours
Yeah.
when I picked up
And
mine.
and it's just as sturdy.
Yeah. Because I picked up mine because I liked yours. The Shenandoah one isn't nearly as sturdy. So, in this is my other George pattern I'm working on. I don't have it over here, but this is the Lots of Love baby blanket. I'm making it in a large throw size. So that'll be 60 inches wide, 72 inches long.
And this is the one that I said, oh, you already have bulky. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty much sure I'm gonna need to pick up more yarn for this because I'm already on the second skein,
So am I.
and this is because I probably wouldn't require nearly as much. Well, no, I would have been holding 3 together. So yeah,
Oh, that's right. You're doing multiple skeins.
yes, and also I had to go down needle sizes to get.
Wait a minute. You're doing multiple skeins?
No, I'm not, but that's what it calls for.
Right.
It calls for multiple skeins, and I had to go down because I didn't want to do multiple skeins. My bulky is a lot thinner than a 3 worsted held together, and I didn't want to work with a large needle he had. He had me working with like a 17, and even the 15 was too big, so I've gone down significantly for the needle size. This is a 10. So it's going to require more yarn.
Sure.
And probably a decent amount more. Because this section here, this is how he makes it larger, is this section becomes huge. Like this is gonna, for this seed stitch section, for the size I'm doing, it has 168 rows.
Well, that's a lot.
For the bottom. It'll have the same thing on the top. Because he doesn't have the heart pattern in the center repeat that stays in the center. So I just have this huge seed stitch area. So that
would drive me nuts.
I know. But this is very lovely. This is the garnet colorway, and it is Knit Picks Swish Bulky. I'm sorry, it's Garnet Heather, and I love this yarn, so I don't mind that I'm going to be working this forever.
It's the same thing you're making to be a sweater out of, right?
Yes. So this is part of what made my decision for me when I started sitting there and mentally doing the math and realized that I was going to have to pick up more, definitely. I was like, okay, I'm going from stash for the one I want for my lap. Right. I don't need this one to be new, whereas this blanket is going to require the same. This other blanket is going to require the same.
Right.
So that's what really drove me to change my plan, because I was like, yeah, that just doesn't make sense.
Okay, my next one, my final project is right now it's in my turtle carrying yarn bag that Anne did and Devin did the artwork for. And this is the project that has been taking most of my time when I can crochet and knit. And this is my to having to hold wedding blanket. It's a wedding afghan. I have for better or for worse, but I changed it. It's for my to having to hold afghan, and it's for friends of mine who are getting married. So you can see, well, that looks pretty.
It does.
I'm further along than I thought I was, which is good. I think I'm about 6 inches maybe. So it's like 6 or 7 inches. And this works up really fast. It's a bulky yarn. This is my Bare Necessities color, because I wanted to go kind of an vintage antique kind of feel for this. And it does work up really quickly. I'm about halfway through my second ball of yarn, I think. I'll show you here. Let's see. And it's very soft and it's very nice to work with. And I don't know my friend's wife at all, or wife to be at all, his fiance. So I don't know the color preferences. So I'm just doing an off-white.
And that's generally a good thing to do for a wedding if you're not sure anyway.
So
weddings, christenings.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to have this done. They're getting married middle of September. I think September 16th or 17th or something like that. So I have plenty of time. The minute he gave me a date, I started.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to stress my hands.
I know once I finish the rosary orders that I've got going, I have to start their rosary gift because I have the wedding ones. I got stalled because I managed to hurt myself.
And we'll talk about that later. So we have a bit to talk about in health-related stuff later.
Yes. So, this has been your big project you've been working on, just like my garnet blanket has been.
Yeah, I've just been kind of deciding, I was trying to figure out how much I need to do over a given amount of days. Davina was helping me with the math. She wrote down the numbers and stuff. She said, Mom, I don't remember how to... She knows how to do it. She doesn't want to do long division with the big numbers. So that's okay. I'll do it myself. But I'm trying to figure out, like, at the minimum, how many rows I'll have to do. And actually what I should do is how many inches I need to do. And...
how many inches, then you take your... you measure your inch per... your stitch per... I would probably do stitch per 4 inches and then divide, because...
I wasn't even going to be that
specific.
It was just, I have this many inches in the blanket. I want to have, like, I think I want it to be, like, 73 by 60.
So you can measure it as you go.
Yeah, and I can just say, okay, 70, so I have that many inches, I have this many days, this is how many,
inches per day
I have to do. I'm not even going to get as technical as, the gauge and all that. It's not
necessary. I think for me, that would drive me insane because I'd have to keep on measuring. Because that's what stalled me on Dad's sweater so far.
No, because I kind of have a feel for it, and I'm not going to... I just want to make sure I get the minimum.
Right.
If I don't get, if I do more than that, if I do 10 rows or 15 rows, that's fine. But I need to do as many as the minimum if I can. Like, I missed a couple of days because my hand was hurting and then other things, and so I didn't do it. I mean, one day I took Davina in for an appointment just this past, was it Thursday to Wednesday? I forget what it was. Friday. It was Friday.
It was just a normal...
Yeah, just a normal appointment. And went in, and they took us. We didn't get to wait.
You didn't get your time like you wanted.
I didn't get the time to do anything. So
I hate when that happens.
I was glad to get home because I had to, as it turned out, because and we'll talk about this later, but my husband had just come back he was coming back from Ohio, so I was able to, get some things done that I might not have gotten done if I started later.
Yeah, I forgot that was the same day.
Yeah, it was the same. That's how I remember it was a Friday instead of a Thursday. But yeah, that's all I had to say about this.
Okay, so I have no more projects.
Neither do I.
And neither of us have FOs. For shop, I'm not going to bother picking up the bag and waving it at you. I have the same design I've been working on.
And I haven't worked on the test knits that I'm doing for Talia. I'm doing 2 test knits for her.
And that wouldn't be in the section anyway. That would be for you, just normal.
Yeah, but my point is that I'm not going to show you the bags. My shop... I promise I am going to get back to the dye pots. I have somebody who's waiting on me to kind of think about what it is do for spring and look up some colorways that she asked about. I found my dye recipe book because I put it somewhere so it wouldn't look so messy, and then I forgot where I put it. Now I found it. So and so I'm going to have to look and see if I can find that color that she mentioned. And if not, I might have to see if we can do something else because it's a little too complicated to reverse engineer. Some of them I can reverse engineer, some of them I can't. So I thought, and I think it might even be a one-off. I'll have to go check.
You don't usually name your one-offs.
I don't, but so I'm hoping. I'm almost finished doing the stuff I had to do for taxes. I finished the family tabulation type stuff to prepare it to take to the tax person. They want you to put everything in order and add things up and all that, and then they go do whatever they do.
Yeah.
So I did the stuff for the family portion of this that I can do. Now I need to go back to, I need to call the lady today or tomorrow and find out exactly what I need for my Etsy shop. Then I'm going to crunch the numbers today or tomorrow, and then once I talk to her, I'll know if I'm finished or not, and then I can seriously think about dyeing yarn.
Yeah, I have a little bit left to finish on that myself. But I don't go in for it. I do it online.
Yeah, and I just
with her.
I bring it in. We have the same preparer.
Yeah,
and she's really good.
But you ended up picking her up last year.
We picked up 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. I know you got her after me.
Yeah, because our preparer retired, and our preparer actually trained her.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's so she's really good, and I just need to call her and clarify some things. So hopefully I'll be able to dye some yarn because I've been itching to do that. But I haven't had the chance.
Right.
Okay, so.
Okay. No stash. Well,
Yes, we have stash enhancements.
I
I do anyway.
Okay.
Let me just finish this stitch because, like I said, this is what needs to be worked on, and I am working on it. Let me just close this stitch off so I don't lose like all my progress. Okay. We had a surprise package come in the mail from our fairy godmother, who is Christina. Mama C. She's very generous. We got a really sweet little card that I'm not going to read because it's private and personal, but there's a cute little... This reminds me of our little goose that we have.
Oh,
A little bit.
And we don't have that literal goose.
Isn't that the sweet... Yeah, it's just a little scrap, just like that one. Isn't that sweet, the card? So she always sends us a little something and periodically. And so this time she sent for prizes. This skein of cotton yarn. It's creme de la creme. And it's kind of shades of purple and lavender. And it's really nice for... It'd make a nice washcloth or something. I don't know where the yardage is for this.
I'm sure it says. Let's see. This is called Purple Tones. It's 2 ounces, 56.7 grams.
So it's not a full 100 gram skein.
No, it's not.
So it's probably about 100 yards or something, maybe more. It's a really it would make a really nice washcloth. It looks like they might have a pattern.
Yeah, I mean that's a decent. It's more than enough for a washcloth.
It's more than enough for a project. It's very pretty and it's not overly harsh from what I can tell.
Well, I've been avoiding touching it.
It looks like they might have a pattern maybe inside the ball band, maybe. This one I had to sit on my hands. Isn't this pretty? Look at this. This is going to make somebody very happy. It's called Toucan. And
we've come to the decision it's probably
a sport
/ heavy fingering.
It has 317 yards for 100 grams. 5.5 to 6 stitches. I'm trying to see. They usually recommend certain kinds of needles, which would give us a better idea, but it doesn't.
US 3 to 5.
Okay, so that's sport.
Yeah,
that's sport. And this is hat box yarn in the Toucan colorway. So somebody's going to get a really nice prize. Isn't that beautiful? Make a nice pair of socks or a nice pair of mitts or a hat.
Yes, I'm not sure if it does have nylon. I'm not sure I would suggest that for socks.
No, let me see. It's 79% superwash merino, 1% silk, and 10%. What's it, cashmere?
Cashmere. Yeah, I would say like
this
knits
would
or
be
neck.
a cowl or something. It's got silk in it. This has got cowl written all over it.
It can't be a long cowl.
Well, it's knitting.
Well,
it could be.
That's not going to be still terribly long for one skein.
It can be a medium-sized cowl. I mean, if you use the
depends on how high you like the cows.
Yeah. Well, I'm figuring it'd probably be like about like here.
Yeah. Well, also not only how
the complexity of your stitches.
Yeah, you don't want too many rows, even if they're long rows.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is. It depends on how you cast it on. Like if you do it like the handbrake that you did it long ways, and then you went that way.
Well, that's odd.
Yeah, that's where the handbrake was done.
That's a really odd construction.
And that's why I prefer it that way actually, because you can adjust you have the length already. You can just adjust your height. But this is really pretty and makes somebody a nice prize.
Most of the times when I've seen it, it's like a scarf where you can adjust your length.
Christina, I can't remember if I thanked you on PHN. I meant to.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I had so many people to touch base with, and I made it a point to make sure I got everybody, and I have a feeling that I didn't get Christina in, which is really horrible. Christina, I did thank her on PHN, on the YouTube.
Okay.
But on the comment section. But I like to make sure I give her a personal thank you instead of this like, bleh.
I can't remember. Someone asked me about like a project or something last week. I don't remember what they were asking me about.
Project?
I don't know. I remember someone asking something, and I can't remember what it was.
Were they asking what it was?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't remember what they were asking what something was. And because I didn't go back and watch the video, I didn't.
Well, were they asking you or were they asking me?
They were asking me.
Okay.
And I can't remember what it was.
Well, I'm sure if they see this video, they'll ask you again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Christina, I do have the question that you asked me. I've been racking my brains to think about what it was you're talking about, but you said it's a long time ago, so I can't remember. I will try to get back to you with that question. Part of the reason I haven't gotten back to you is because I can't think of what you're talking about. It's just kind of went out there. I mean, if you remember which episode it is, I'll be happy to go back and look. But I can't, for the life of me, think of what you're talking about. I have a vague idea. She's such a sweetheart.
Yes, she is.
I love her dearly. And then I got a couple of cooking magazines. These came in. My husband got me these for Christmas, and so they should be running. Oh, before I go through that, I had a retreat, a day of recollection for Lent, half a day, silent retreat of recollection, and at lunchtime we were allowed to talk. And the lady I was sitting with was talking to me about this painting or drawing that she saw that was really moved her, and she got a bunch of copies made. I said, "Oh, I'd like to see that." She said, "I'll give you one," because I told you, I was willing to pay for it because she put it on really nice cardstock here. And she brought it for me. And what it is for you Catholic, for non-Catholics, this is the donkey carrying Jesus. Only it's not like you would think. He's carrying the real presence in the tabernacle with the chalice and the host.
Just think, Old Testament when
Ark of the Covenant.
Ark of the Covenant.
I can't know if you can see, but it's a really nice picture. The shadow. She thought the shadow was maybe Saint Joseph in front of it. But this is the picture itself, and I really like it. I want my husband to frame it for me so I can put it up on the wall. It's really, really pretty. And it kind of, the donkey just kind of has this placid look on his face. And it kind of give you, I like things that make you think, and this is good for meditation.
I thought the donkey looks tired.
To me, he looks placid. Not particularly concerned about anything. And he might be tired too. I mean, but Jesus is a light burden. So, yeah. So I was given to me today. I thought she would forget about it. She saw me on Saturday. We don't know each other very well. I just met her that Saturday, and she remembered to bring it to me. Now, the two magazines I got, All Recipes and Taste of Home, and All Recipes seems to be very vegetable heavy this time. Lots of greens, like
we're headed into spring.
Cucumbers and pickles and looks like, I don't know what this is. Some kind of vinaigrettes and...
Yeah, that we're heading into spring. That's why they're doing that.
This is not my favorite recipe time of year. I prefer Now this looks some kind of a bean soup with noodles, like spaghetti noodles. I don't know if you can see up here. It's like got spaghetti noodles in it. I like things with beans in it. It's ash reshte. Ash reshte.
Yeah. It's something of a different culture, so it might be spicier than what you're used to.
Yeah, it looks like it might be Indian. They got fried fish in here, and they've got I don't know what nargali is. They look kind of like dumplings or something. It looks like they're doing some kind of international thing. I know I got something earlier.
I think they generally have an international section to these things.
Blueberry cream dessert, which looks really good. I bet we can make that with, depending on what it uses. We can use the gluten-free graham crackers, the gluten-free butter, the dairy-free butter. I think there's dairy-free sour cream. I know there's cream cheese. The yogurt will be the difficulty.
There's yogurt.
Is there? Okay, so...
all that stuff in my fridge, remember that I hadn't eaten?
Oh, that's right. I don't usually... This is not my favorite magazine. My husband likes this one more than I do. Although it's a very good site. But I tend to go to Taste of Home. Because when I was quasi-newly married, kids started coming and stuff like that. This is where I would go for recipes. And my husband, as long as I made sure that it didn't have any ingredients he didn't like in it, he was never disappointed with what I got out of here. So I tend to stick with Taste of Home. I really like them. I've got cookbooks with of theirs and all that, and magazines. The magazines changed a little bit. It used to have like bigger pictures and fewer articles. I don't mind the articles, but when I get a cookbook, I want the cookbook.
Yeah, a lot of the magazines have been taken over by the articles.
Yeah, and I don't. I guess that's okay. But if I want an article, I'll look for the article. The nice thing about Taste of Home is they do this.
A lot of them do that, Mom. My gluten-free one does too.
Yeah, I know it does, but I don't know that. All Recipes doesn't, though.
Are you sure it doesn't?
Let me see.
It's because it's a fairly common. Okay, maybe it doesn't.
No.
Okay, that's a bit unusual.
No, unless they do it in the back. Some of them do that. But I like this one because it tends to have bigger pictures. Like this is a fish recipe. I hadn't opened this yet. My husband, I said, did you look at the All Recipes? My husband cooks too. He's a good cook. He said, no, that's your magazine. I gotta wait for you to look at it. So you guys are gonna not allow him now to look at the magazine. Davina and I will look through these when we sit down at lunch. If Ty is not eating with us, we'll go through recipes and things like that. And she likes to kind of, oh, look at this, ginger kale smoothies. That just kind of sounds awful.
Yes.
But blueberry banana sounds okay.
Nope.
Banana mixed berry. I want the banana strawberry.
I think I gave you a recipe for that.
Yeah, I think you did. And this is fryer power, so I guess this uses this is with the air fryer, I guess. This looks like it's chicken parmesan or something. The thing about the air fryer that I really like is it takes off calories.
Mm.
Yeah, air fryer chicken parmesan. Oh, Dad's gonna like that. The ability to do some of these in air fryer.
Yeah.
You all right?
I'm getting tired.
All right. I won't go too much longer in here. Just see if I can do some highlights. Yeah, there's a lot in here. I'm gonna, in the interest of being able to do some of our health stuff, I'm just gonna say that this looks really good. Okay. Moving on to the health and life.
So the main reason why we're even putting a highlight on this is because it has actually been fairly it's been eventful.
If anyone doesn't want to hear this, we wish you a very special, good week full of knitting and crocheting and everything that makes your heart happy. We hope to see you here again next week for the Fun of the Woman Cave. And we will say goodbye to you for now. Okay? God bless and have a wonderful week.
Bye.
Okay, go ahead, Taya.
Okay, so I was trying to reorganize my shelves to put my tea in a better spot where I wasn't knocking it down all the time, make a little bit more room for the books that I have, and just basically reorganize everything in a neater, nicer pattern. I also have gotten something put on my door that could store yarn. I have put a picture of that on Instagram. But at the end of doing that, I twisted wrong, and I popped my knee in and out.
Dislocate, relocate.
Yep. Definitely did that because the noise definitely wasn't just slight muscular. It was definitely the other. So yeah, I've been bracing since, well, the first night and the next morning I did not have anything. It was incredibly painful. I still have some pain if I move certain ways, or mostly if I move certain ways. So it's not completely where
We're keeping an eye on it, though. If she doesn't get better.
Well, no, it's the pain's gone down.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely gone down from where it's been. I'm not worried about that. It would be weird if I had a dislocation and it just went away.
Yeah, but my point is, we're keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about it.
That doesn't matter whether you're worried about it. We're still keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it because if it had continued at the level that it was before I got the brace, I'd be far more concerned.
I'm just concerned that now that it's been out once, it's going to be easier to come out.
Oh, well, yeah, that's Ehlers-Danlos, though. That's always going to be the case. That's why eventually I'll probably end up having to get a second brace, because that's just the nature of Ehlers-Danlos. It doesn't get better. Yeah. No, I'm fully aware that it could eventually happen again. So.
For us, Mike, my husband, went to Ohio because my mother-in-law's in hospice, so he was in Ohio from Wednesday through Friday, and everything, he had a good visit over there, so that's good. While he was gone, I took Davina to get her, just kind of get a once-over for the year and to renew her medicine. This is where I have, and I won't mention the pharmacy because I don't want to do that, but I was not happy and will not use that pharmacy again.
Although, because local will change from place to place.
I would rather not.
Okay. It is a chain, though.
Yeah, it is a chain. I would rather not, okay? If somebody asks me privately, I'll let you know.
Mm-hmm. But it probably does. It doesn't necessarily mean that your chain.
No.
Part of the chain
but my point is that this. I mean, we've had. I don't know why I keep going there because every time we go there, almost every time we go there, 90% of the time we have a bad experience with their pharmacy.
Well, I think that they took all the people when they took over the previous place that was in that building.
Yeah.
I think they kept. Yeah, I think they kept all their pharmacy people because
they were bad.
They were rude too.
Yeah. So what happened was this: Davina needed a refill.
Oh, yours weren't rude. They were just.
They've been rude.
Yeah.
Okay. They've been anywhere from incompetent to indifferent to outright rude.
Yeah.
Okay. I've had handful of times out of all the time they've been there that I've been happy with them. Okay. And only because it was things like, can you check this for me? I need another pair of eyes. Have it help me if I ask them to help me find something, or ask a question. But anyway, what happens is Davina's medicine had run out. Thankfully, we found out when we had an appointment with her doctor and her nurse practitioner, and she was able to, renew her, look her over, renew it, and everything like that. So I drop it. I go there, and they call ahead or fax it or whatever it is they do, and I wasn't sure it would be ready because I went right from the hospital to the pharmacy. It's only like 15 minutes down the road.
We should specify the doctor's office is attached to the hospital.
Right.
Davina did not have to go to the hospital.
Right. And so so we get there and okay, I understand it's not ready, it's processing. How long will it be? About an hour. Okay, I'm going to go home. Will you call me? Because I live 5 minutes down the road from the pharmacy. So I said, okay, just call me when it's ready and I'll come and get it. So I start doing my stuff. I get, my husband comes home and all that kind of stuff. No call from them, right? And my husband's like, well, let's go pick it up. I said, well, let me make sure it's ready. So I call. Oh, we put it aside. Your insurance isn't covering it. Okay, my head is, why didn't you call me for this? So we talk about it, find out how much it is. Say, okay, look, we'll pay for it. We'll figure out the snafu later. So they say, okay, I'll be ready in about an hour. Okay. Mike and I go for a walk, go down there. They haven't started processing yet. Mike is a little annoyed. I get a little annoyed. We say, look, we'll come back tomorrow. Okay. Now this medicine helps Davina because she's anxious, and so she was making herself sick in the morning before she got on this medicine, literally sick. So Mike is like,
and
okay.
then it became, because she got more anxious about it.
Yeah. So Mike's like, I don't want her to go through that again. Let's go ahead and pick it up. So let me make sure it's ready. So I called because we said we'd come back in the morning. Yeah. So I called, and you get that stupid automated thing, and it says, oh, we haven't started processing it yet, blah blah blah. So I wait on the line until the pharmacist comes on. I'm like, okay, is this ready or not? Yes, it's ready. Okay, fine. I said, now I know you're not maybe the one I need to talk to because it was a different person that I've been dealing with. But I'm going to vent at you. I said, look, what were you planning on doing? I understand that, well, first of all, why does it take so much time for you to fulfill an order that's essentially over the counter? Okay? Why does it take, and then, oh, well, we're backed up. Okay, I'll give you your backed up because they had kind of one of the pharmacies closed down. Everybody got overflow. Okay, I get that. Why did you not call us when you found that the insurance wasn't going to cover this? Was it just you're just going to sit there until I said, oh, wait, they haven't called me yet? No, I don't know. Okay, you don't know? What? So we went in and we picked it up and I paid for it and and all that. We came home, Davina has her medicine, but it left a very, very bad taste in my mouth, and I feel bad. I went to confession and told Father about it because I felt bad.
And it could have been something as simple as they were like, okay, we need to call the doctor's office about this, and they set it aside like, okay, as soon as I finish this, and then
not with 8 hours of they put it in at 11. When I finally went and picked it up, it was almost 7 o'clock. I think it was at night, or 6:30 or something.
I just
like
know it's very easy to get behind.
I understand that. You call the person. You call the person. This is what's happening. They said they would call, and the minute they pulled it, they should have called. I talked to a few people. I talked to one person. I was going to talk to somebody else, but I haven't had a chance. And said, "Do you go to XYZ pharmacy?" She said, "Oh, I never go there. They're horrible. They're awful." And so I'm not going there anymore. And I should have. I can put up with a lot of things for myself, but for Davina or Talia, no, I don't put up with the kind of stuff.
I mean, you don't have to deal with my stuff. I deal with my stuff.
The point is, okay, and I can still be affected by your stuff. I can still decide I'm not going to use it. Mike's stuff, I don't, I'll put up with my own stuff until I really get annoyed. But for the kids or for my husband, it's like, no. And so I don't know. It was annoying. It was kind of, it's because if it happened to be something that wasn't going to really, it wasn't dangerous, but it could have been. They knew it was an over-the-counter type of thing, but they didn't know why she was having it necessarily, So anyway, long story short, we won't be using that place anymore, except pick up whatever. 'Cause, most pharmacies now are in like little general store type things, for lack of a
lot of times they're like, it's like Walmart or they have other things besides, like, the pharmacy's only a small piece of it.
And this,
I mean, even Martin's has a pharmacy.
I'll be going to Martin's, try out Martin's next time we have.
I never had an issue with Martin's. I don't know why you stopped going.
I've never used Martin's.
Oh, I used to go there.
I used Kmart until I
used to do Martin's when I was not using Genoa.
Yeah, I used to use Kmart when we weren't using Genoa, and then I went to this other pharmacy after Kmart closed down.
Yeah, I didn't see a point of making an extra trip. I was already going to Martin's for other things. So.
Well, yeah, but see, you didn't have to. I did. And so I just when I went
actually, I did have to. I was getting medicine.
Were you getting it from that place?
Well, no, I never went to the one you did. I chose
to go. No, what I'm saying was, were you at Kmart then?
No, I never ended up using Kmart. I chose to go Martin's.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When Kmart closed, I didn't have a choice.
Oh, Martin's didn't have one at that point?
Well, they did, but I didn't feel comfortable going to a grocery store with a pharmacy. So I went to a place that was listed as a pharmacy, one of those chains that has a pharmacy, and they were okay. It took me a while to get used to them. But when they moved into the new building from the other pharmacy, one of the other pharmacies that got closed down, they kept the staff from the other pharmacy, I think, and it was awful. So, I just it was an interesting an interesting day. But Davina got all the stuff. She got the stuff that she needed. When I talked to her other nurse over at Northwestern tomorrow, I'll ask if we can see what we can do about the insurance thing, and if it may be that we have to pay for it, and I didn't realize that's why hers went up a little bit, because we do have to pay for that, and that's fine. I just want to know what's going on, because she hadn't had to pay for it in the past.
Right.
But
and it might be as simple as they need to change from generic to brand.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't usually make sense for them not to accept paying for such an inexpensive medicine.
Yeah, and if we have to pay for it, we'll pay for it. It's not a big deal. It helps her. So. And and I don't want to malign a whole chain based on one store. So it was just, I think customer service is a lost art in a lot of places nowadays.
Well, I think it goes hand in hand with some of the abuse that they get. I'm not saying yours was, but I'm saying
No,
that,
it wasn't abusive. It was more indifference.
No, I mean like some of the abuse that they will get from some customers makes it. Because some people can be truly awful.
Right. No, I get that because I've worked both sides of the customer service.
And I think it's probably worse now than it's ever been. So I think that you have perhaps people a lot less willing to put in effort when they get cussed out, and there's just some truly awful experiences when you work customer service, and like I said, I think it's probably gotten a lot worse.
And like I said, I've been on both sides of the customer service fence, so I know, I've had experience on both sides.
Yeah.
But yeah, not to leave it on a bad note. Davina got everything she needed, and
I don't know if she's trying to make food because she peeked her head in.
Oh, did she?
Yes, she did, because I gave her a look because she knows the podcast is going because we have the blue light on, right?
Yes.
So my thought is that she better
not be, because she doesn't know what she's supposed to make.
That's what I'm saying. I think she might be trying, because I think I hear her in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, she might just be sitting at the dishes or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and thank you guys for putting up with my rant, because I just felt that with my prayer warriors out there, just to make sure I just let it go. I have let it go for the most part. It's just, so I don't, go back and replay it. I don't need to be doing that. So, and the young man who helped me when I got there was super sweet and super nice, and they're good people everywhere, and so that's just that. But we don't have a Zoom or anything until
it's not till last.
It's like the 31st, right?
Yeah, it'll be whatever the last Friday of the month is.
Well, let's see. Today is the 20th. 21 is Tuesday. 22 is Wednesday. 23 is Thursday. 24 is Friday. Yeah, so 31st. So it won't be this coming week. It'll be the following week. And is that one a live stream Zoom?
It's a Zoom.
Okay.
Last one of the month is a Zoom.
I think the best way for me to remember it is that Z is the last letter of the alphabet, and so Zoom is the last one. Okay, so
you better get going because I'm pretty sure Davina is.
That's what I'm saying. Just let me do my spiel. All right, this is the end. Ty's getting tired. We have to have lunch. But we want to thank you all for joining us for the Fun in the Woman Cave. We wish you a very wonderful week full of knitting, crocheting, whatever kind of craft that makes you happy. And we hope to see you next week for the Fun in the Woman Cave. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 546, and that's a wrap.
Bye.
Bye, all. God bless.